What if the Vikings never left? In our timeline, Leif Erikson reached North America around 1000 AD, stayed briefly, then vanished from history. But imagine if they'd stayed, built, thrived. What kind of civilization might have emerged from 5 centuries of Norse-Indigenous fusion? Lancé Ox Meadows in Newfoundland, the only confirmed Viking site in North America. 8 small buildings, a forge, gone within decades. But what if this tiny outpost was just the beginning? The first foothold of something much larger. Tantalizing hints suggest there's more to find. The Kensington Runestone, the Newport Tower, mysterious artifacts scattered across the continent. Most are likely hoaxes, but what if some aren't? What if the archaeological record is incomplete? In this alternate timeline, settlements spread south and west. The St. Lawrence opens a highway to the Great Lakes. Coastal enclaves dot New England's shore. Each site chosen for the same reason Vikings always chose: harbors, timber, farmland, and defensible positions. Norse society transformed in this new world. Without kings across the ocean demanding tribute, new power structures emerged. Local chieftains became independent rulers. The Viking assembly merged with indigenous council traditions. Democracy took root in American soil centuries early. The Norse brought iron. Indigenous peoples knew copper, but iron was transformational. Imagine axes that didn't shatter, knives that held their edge, plows that could break heavy soil. And in return, the Vikings learned to work this land they'd never known. First contact could have gone many ways. The sagas speak of Skraeling's hostile encounters that drove the Norse away. But what if diplomacy had prevailed? Trade instead of violence, intermarriage instead of warfare. 2 peoples choosing coexistence. Generations passed. Children were born to Norse fathers and indigenous mothers, and the reverse. Languages merged into something new, names blended. Thorstein, running deer, Raven Eriksdottir, a new people emerged, belonging fully to neither old world. What happens when Odin meets the Great Spirit? When Thor's hammer hangs beside animal totems? Religion merged as peoples did. New ceremonies combined Norse and indigenous elements. Hybrid gods emerged, neither Christian nor traditional, but something entirely new. Trade routes extended across the continent. Viking ships carried goods from distant Iceland and Greenland. Canoe networks reached deep inland. Furs moved east, iron moved west. A transcontinental economy centuries before European colonization. Iron spread from Norse forges across the continent. Tribes without direct contact with Vikings acquired iron tools through trade networks. By 1400, the Iron Age had reached the Mississippi. Technology transforms faster than people move. The landscape itself would transform. Norse farming practices met indigenous agriculture. New crops crossed the ocean. Wheat and barley joined corn and squash. Forests were managed, not cleared. A sustainable fusion that fed a growing civilization. By 1400, true kingdoms had emerged. Vinland became more than a name. It was a nation. Chiefdoms consolidated into something larger. Fortified capitals rose. Succession laws blended Norse and indigenous traditions. An American empire took shape. Then, 1492. Columbus arrives and finds not empty wilderness, but organized nations. Coastal watchtowers spot his ships. Ambassadors are sent. The Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria meet longships flying unfamiliar banners. 2 Europes encountering each other across the Atlantic. This empire never existed, but the possibility haunts us. What if those first Vikings had stayed? What civilization might have flourished? The ruins will never excavate. The histories will never read. The empire that vanished before it began.